Today, I want to tell you a story about one of the most famous Marines that they teach us about in boot camp, and that is Chesty Puller. He is a famous Marine from World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam, and he has got some really great quotes out there that Marines have been recycling for well over 70 years. And one of those quotes really kind of paints what to do when your back's up against a wall, because that dad is just stuck. He just sits there. Because there are so many possibilities. He's overthought this solution, and he just stands still there for the lack of a better idea of what to do. And so the advice from Chesty Puller, and the few quotes I'm going to read here kind of just paint what really went on and way his mindset worked, which is how they programmed us as Marines to think. So this one comes from the Korean War. And there's a quote that says, "We're surrounded." That simplifies the problem. All right, they're on our left, they're on our right, they're in front of us, and they're behind us. They can't get away from us this time. They are in front of us, behind us, and we are flanked on both sides by an enemy that outnumbers us 29-1. They can't get away from us now. That mindset, that is almost great, we're surrounded. Now we can fire in any direction and guarantee to hit the enemy. What that mindset does, and what I've taken that away from this quote when I first heard it and how I've applied it to my life, is that when you are stuck, when you're almost surrounded by a fog, if we'll add that description to what you probably feel like if you're the dad out there that I'm talking to. And when that fog is in there, every step you take, like even if you were in this battle, that Chesty Puller is quoted on saying this, how do you know which enemy to fire? I mean, the same idea would happen. Like, if they're surrounded, like, how do you fire in front when you know you're going to get hit behind? Doesn't matter. You're able to fire in any direction and kill the enemy. Now, the enemy could be anything. The enemy doesn't have to be Koreans in this case. The enemy can be whether you work on your promotion, whether it be you work on your health, whether it be you work on your faith, whether it be you work on your mindset. Doesn't matter. All of those things are irrelevant. What's more important, and the idea that I take away from this quote, is any action is a good action. Let me repeat that because I feel like the simplicity of it might be missed for the ones in the back. Any action is a good action. Because what they don't tell you when you're standing still or worried about which enemy you need to hit, or whether you worry about your front, your flank, or your left flank, or your back, wherever it may be, any direction is the right direction. Because what you're doing now, standing still with indecision, is going to get you killed. And it would have got you killed during the Korean War. So you need to continue to take action. And it's more important to have a direction than it is to be stagnant where you are. Because if you're not doing something, you're not moving the needle. And at least when you're firing in a direction, or taking action in a direction, or growing in a direction, you're learning, you're figuring something out, and you're moving. You're meeting people, you're probably having conversations, and those conversations are leading to new thoughts. And the most important part to understand what happens almost within your head is that fog starts to lift. Now, it doesn't lift because you picked the right action. It could have got lucky. It moves and it lifts because you did something. I always say action and motion create clarity. And it doesn't matter what direction you're moving in. The motion of moving, doing something, will create the clarity on where you need to go. So if this episode resonated on a deep level, and you feel like the enemy of the world has you surrounded, and at some point they're going to find you, and you're going to be taken out of the game of life, well, you need to remember, take any action. Wherever direction you take is a good direction, because you're surrounded. Any direction will change the situation from what you are in. And that determination is something that Marines are hardwired into us to never quit, to always find a way, and always take action. And so I hope this lesson from Chesty Puller helped you get a different mindset of how to take action, even when you feel stuck, even when you feel like you're standing in the middle of a fog that you can't even see which way is true north. Remember, motion will create clarity, and that clarity will give you the wisdom to understand where you need to go next. And I'll be back again with you tomorrow.